Hey everyone, it's Matt here with Nightrun Studio and welcome to our brand new series on making NPCs. We've got lots of exciting stuff coming up in the next episodes. However, in this first one, we just want to do a little bit of setup and also get our NPCs animated and ready to go. That does make this a sort of episode 0, which is why I've released it as a bonus one this week, as it's not particularly exciting, but it's stuff we've just got to get through. All right then, let's get started. So first off, we need to talk about whether or not you've been following along with the action RPG series. If you have, what you see over here in the hierarchy will look familiar, and if you haven't, then it might be a little confusing. Good news is you actually don't need a single one of these. In fact, I'm going to turn off almost all of these objects here so that we won't be using them throughout the series. All you actually need is, well, a camera. I'm personally going to leave my tile map activated, and this is a good time to note that I am using the Tiny Swords assets by PixelFrog. You can grab the link in the description if you'd like to use them yourself. And besides the tile map and camera, that's all you're going to need to get started. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is create the NPC. Let's right click over in the hierarchy where we can add an empty object. I'll call this one NPC. And then we're going to need the actual sprite itself. And if you're following along with the same pack, this is just inside of factions. We'll go to knights, troops, and then head into pawn, and personally I'm going to use the purple pawn. Now we are going to need to slice this up, as right now it's just a sheet with a whole bunch of different sprites on it. So let's begin by setting our sprite mode to multiple. That'll allow us to slice it into individual frames. We're going to set our pixels per unit. I'm using 64 for this project. You just want to be consistent throughout, as this will determine the size of your pixels. Anytime you're working with pixel art, you want to use a filter mode of point no filter, which just creates sharp edges. Bilinear creates a sort of blurring that looks good in high res, but not so much with pixel art. Finally, if you're noticing any sort of discoloration in your project that doesn't seem quite right, if you change your format to 32-bit, that usually cleans it up quite well. At this point, we can apply those changes and head on into the sprite editor. Right, so let's click on slice. We're gonna slice this by cell size, and my sprite sheet is working with 192 by 192. You may have to try out some different numbers to get it just right yourself, but once you've got the correct numbers, you can click slice, apply those changes, and then close the sprite editor. Now when we hit the play button in the asset menu, you'll notice that this has been chopped up into 36 distinct sprites. I'm just gonna use the 0 here as my base sprite and drag it onto NPC. I'll rename this one as sprite, and essentially what I'm doing here is I'm going to make it so that the NPC parent object handles all of the logic and physics for the character, while all of the graphics, animations, and sprites and stuff happen on this child object. One thing to watch out for here though is you'll notice my sprite isn't actually showing up on the map, and that's because when I dragged him in, Unity gave him some strange settings in his transform. I'm just going to zero those out so that he appears right on top of my NPC object. And at this point, you just have to be careful, because if you were to click on the map and start moving around this NPC, you'd actually just be moving the sprite, but the parent object would still stay where it is. So just remember, anytime you want to move him, to click the parent in the hierarchy and use that as your reference for moving. I'm just going to set up 2 animations that we'll use a lot in this series, and that's an idle and walk animation. I'm going to dock my animation pane here just above my project window. That said, if you don't have that yet, you can head up to Window at the top, go down to Animation, and click Animation. Now, while clicked on the sprite, remember we're going to be doing all of our animations on the child object, you can go ahead and click Create. Now here I'm just going to head back to my Assets folder, and under Sprites, I've already created a folder called Animations, and I'm actually just going to make a new one for NPC animations specifically. I'm going to name this one Purple Pawn _idle. And now I just need to get those idle frames. Now if I click through them, you can see that from 0 to 5 is his idle frames, and then he starts walking. So I'm just gonna hold down Shift and click each of those, then I can drag them right into my animation pane here. Now when I click play, you'll see that he's moving incredibly quickly. Definitely not what I want, so we'll fix that. However, the other thing we want to do is anytime you're dealing with an animation that loops, you want to make sure that it ends on the same frame it starts with. So I'm just going to copy this first node here and paste it at the end. The reason we do this is because later on when we stretch out the animation, I'm going to make mine happen over about 36 frames, so they each last for 6 frames each. You'll notice that each of them gets 6 frames. However, if I didn't add that node at the end, the final frame would only play for 1 single frame and then reset, which would give it a weird choppy look. Now when I hit play, you can see that it's looking pretty good. I'm just gonna go to my animator for a moment. And again, if you don't have that, you can click on Window, go to Animation, Animator. This is a state machine where we can set up transitions between different animation states, but we're actually not really gonna use it much in this video. I'm gonna show an alternative way to set up your animations that doesn't require you to do all your transitions in here. The one thing we do need to do though is give these some names. So first off, we have our default state here we just created, and I'm just gonna give it the simple name of idle. It's gonna play by default when the game starts, and later we'll add our walk in here as well. So let's create that one now. Make sure you're clicked on your sprite. Then we can go to create new clip. I'm gonna call this one purple pawn underscore walk. This time around, I'll start with purple pawn 6, and I believe the walking animation goes to 11. So again, while holding shift, I can click them all, drag them in. Be sure to copy that first node and paste it at the end. And then we can select all of them and drag them out. And once again, I'm gonna have this one take place over about 36 frames. When I hit play, it looks pretty good. In my animator now, I'm just gonna rename this one as walk. And that's actually all we're gonna have to do in the animator. We won't be back here again for a while. With that done, I'll just drag my animation pane back down into the bottom here. And now we're just gonna do a little final setup on our NPC, and then we'll be ready to start with the next video and get some states actually coded. First thing we wanna do is make it so that he detects collisions. Let's add a capsule collider 2D. If I click on edit collider here, you can see that it has a nice rounded shape. I prefer this to a box collider, which has sharp edges and can sometimes get caught when walking around corners or on trees and things like that. This one works much nicer. I'm also just gonna add a rigid body 2D, which is what's gonna give this guy some physics, though physics also means gravity. Let's make sure to take that off. Finally, I'm going to open up constraints here, and I'm gonna freeze his rotation. That way if he bumps into something, he won't be sent off spinning in circles. Now, I realize this isn't super exciting, but with those changes done, we have our NPC and project fully set up and ready to go so that in the next video, we can start coding our patrol state. Hope to see you in that video. Until then though, this is Matt with Nightrun Studio. Cheers.